Tonight, you might feel watched in an empty room. Nothing moves, no one speaks. The door is closed, the lights are on, and still your brain quietly wonders if something is there. A shape in the corner becomes a person. A creak in the wall becomes a warning. A shadow becomes a presence. And the strange part is this: that feeling may be one of the oldest reasons humans started believing in gods. Not because ancient people were stupid. Not because they looked at thunder and simply gave up. Not because early humans were desperate to invent stories for fun. The real answer is far stranger. Your brain was built to survive in a world where missing an invisible mind could kill you. If the grass moved, it was safer to assume a predator was hiding there. If a branch snapped, it was safer to assume someone caused it. If a face seemed to appear in the clouds, the mistake cost nothing. But if you ignored the one real watcher in the dark, you might not live long enough to make another mistake. That is the brutal math of survival. Better to see a mind where there is none than miss a mind where there is one. Psychologist Justin Barrett called this tendency hyperactive agency detection. It means your brain is quick to detect agents, things with intention, even when the evidence is weak. An agent can be a person, an animal, a spirit, an ancestor, or a god. Anything that wants something, anything that watches, anything that acts. Your brain would rather be wrong and alive than calm and eaten. For most of human history, that alarm system did not live inside apartments, cities, and locked bedrooms. It lived under open skies. It lived near forests. It lived beside caves, rivers, cliffs, fires, and bones. Every sound mattered. Every movement mattered. Every unexplained event demanded an answer. So when lightning split the sky, it did not feel like random electricity. It felt like anger. When disease entered a camp, it did not feel like microbes, because no one could see microbes. It felt like punishment, pollution, a curse, or a hidden will. When a dream showed a dead relative speaking, it did not feel like brain activity during sleep. It felt like the dead were still near. That does not make ancient humans foolish. It makes them human. Anthropologist Stuart Guthrie argued that humans naturally explain the world by seeing human-like intention in it. A mountain becomes powerful, a river becomes generous or dangerous. The sky becomes angry. The forest becomes watchful. Your mind uses the thing it understands best. Other minds to explain the things it understands least. And once the world feels full of invisible minds, gods become possible. But belief did not come from fear alone. Fear opened the door. Memory kept it open. Your brain is built to remember strange things better than ordinary things. Cognitive scientist Pascal Boyer studied why certain supernatural ideas spread so easily. His point was not that every wild idea survives. Most do not. The ideas that stick are strange enough to grab attention, but familiar enough to make sense. These ideas violate the normal world just enough to become memorable. But they still act like minds, so your brain can hold them, so your mouth can repeat them, so a child can remember them beside a fire. This is where gods become more than private feelings. They become shared stories. One person hears thunder and feels watched. Another dreams of a dead parent. Another survives a hunt after making an offering. Another gets sick after breaking a taboo. The camp talks. Patterns appear. Meaning grows. Soon the invisible watcher has a name. Soon the name has a story. Soon the story has rules. Do this. Do not. Do that. Respect the dead. Share the food. Do not steal. Do not betray the group. The watcher sees. And that is where belief becomes socially powerful. But as human groups grew larger, the problem became nastier. Strangers had to cooperate. People had to trade, fight, build, farm, and live beside others. They did not Personally, no. Human society became too large for gossip alone. Researchers like Ara Norenzayan and Joseph Henrich have argued that moralizing gods may have helped large groups cooperate. A moralizing god is not just a spirit of rain or a local river being. It is a supernatural watcher concerned with human behavior. It cares whether you lie. It cares whether you steal. It cares whether you obey the rules when no human is watching. That changes everything. This does not mean religion was invented as a trick. Human beliefs are rarely that clean. They grow from fear, memory, dreams, death, cooperation, storytelling, and the unbearable fact that humans know they will die. The result is a deep pattern. A survival system becomes a story system. A story system becomes a moral system. Think about death. Your brain understands people as minds with goals, voices, habits, and feelings. When someone dies, the body is still there, but the mind is gone. That is a difficult thing to process. Even today, after someone dies, you may still expect their message, their footsteps, their voice in the next room. Your brain keeps modeling the person because that is what it learned to do. So ancient humans buried bodies with tools, ornaments, food, pigments, and care. Not always for the same reason, not always with the same belief, but often with the sense that death was not just disposal. Something about the person still mattered. Something continued, watched, traveled, or needed attention. From there, ancestors can become guardians. Guardians can become spirits. Spirits can become gods. And gods can become the invisible architecture of a whole society. The twist is that belief in gods may not begin with answers. It may begin with questions your brain could not stop asking. Who moved that? Who caused this? Who is watching? Why did the storm come after the rule was broken? Why did the dream feel more real than waking life? Where did the dead person go? Your brain hates gaps. It fills them. That ability is useful when tracking animals, reading faces, detecting danger, and predicting what other people will do next. But the same ability can turn silence into intention. It can turn weather into mood. It can turn luck into judgment. It can turn the universe into a mind. And even now, the old machinery has not disappeared. You may not believe thunder is a god speaking. You may not believe a bad harvest means a spirit is angry. You may not leave food for ancestors or fear a forest demon. But you still talk to the universe when something goes wrong. You still ask why me. You still feel that certain events were meant to happen. You still sense patterns in coincidence. You still behave differently when you think someone might see. The modern world tells you that walls are just walls. The old brain is not so sure. That is the strange origin hiding underneath so many gods. Not one invention, not one lie, not one thunderstorm misunderstood by simple minds. Instead, a mind built for survival began detecting minds everywhere. Then, memory turned those invisible minds into stories. Then, groups turned stories into rules. Then, death, fear, dreams, and morality gave those rules a sacred shape. The gods began in part because your brain is always asking, who is there? So tonight, when you feel watched in an empty room, you are not just being irrational. You are hearing an ancient survival system whisper through the dark.